Hello, my name is Anubis Mustafa and I live in Egypt with my mother, father, and brother. I am 13 years old. Anubis was the god of mummification in ancient Egypt. My brother's name is Ebo and he is 2 years older than me. Ebo means born on a Tuesday in Egypt. My dad is a shower ring salesman. Mount Egypt is in the west part of Egypt, far from the Nile River, and is around an oasis. My family isn't too wealthy, and my house is made of brick but very sturdy. My dad was in the city and he said he saw a big explosion off to the north of Giza. He said he might think it came from a terrorist group called ISIS. I hear it's very bad. Today my family is moving to Sheikh Zayed city. It is close to the Nile and is a lot more popular than Mut. We have a car but it's not very good. My father bought it for 100 Egyptian pounds, and that's not much. Once I'm there, I might see the Great Pyramids of Giza or the Sphinx. Today I saw a newspaper that had an article about the Arab Spring in 2011. It said the Arab Spring was a series of protests that were aimed towards the ex-ruler Mubarak. The article was talking about how it changed Egypt forever. As a 13-year-old, I didn't care much for newspapers. I didn't know why I was reading one in the first place. A couple of weeks before we moved, we tried to start a garden in our backyard. We didn't live too close to the oasis and Mut, so it was hard to keep our crops. Our garden didn't work. Today at school I learned that only 2.9% of Egypt is arable. Arable means is good for planting. Once a year my dad goes to Nema Bay for work and he brings us with him. I love going there. It's like heaven. They have the best cafes and restaurants. We stay at this amazing hotel and it has a great view of the bay. After 3 days we leave and go back to our house. I hate it when we have to leave. Recently one of my father's clients were arrested and sentenced for 3 years in prison because they were homosexual. It is not illegal, but the police still charge them and they still have to go to jail. My dad said when he was little there was a war called the War of Attrition. The war was between Israel and Egypt. The two countries were fighting about the land between and they got equal sides. Major problems my country of Egypt are facing are political instability and leadership problems following the Arab Spring of 2011 and the threat of Islamic terrorists like ISIS. One day there's not going to be terrorist groups or protests or wars, and when that day comes I want to be a part of it. Until then, my name is Anubis Mustafa, and I'm happy to live in Africa.